From a young age, I very much was open spiritually. I could see what you'd qualify as a ghost, or I would like to call them souls walking around. I think by the age of 9, 10, I remember astral projecting. I guess using earth, I guess nature to practice magic. And then I realized that blood is more powerful.
So you would do some kind of rituals with blood?
It was so good, that high moment that would come. I would get what I want, but there was always a cost. They said to me, there's this big job. And then he said, oh, I need your passport. And then 2 guys came in and he locked the door. And I knew straight away. So my mindset then was, there's no way out of this. I felt so trapped that I believe that's who I was now. I heard the Gospel of John 4, which is about the Samaritan woman. I went back to my seat and realizing I just met God. The real God I just read and heard about. I just encountered him and I felt satisfied.
Hello and welcome back to the Come See podcast. I'm your host, Dami Okeke. It's such a pleasure to have you with me again. And I want you to sit tight, get comfortable, because we're going to have an amazing conversation today. Let me do the housekeeping first. So housekeeping, if you are not already subscribed, subscribe to the podcast. Make sure that you hit the like button and leave a comment as well, because it really helps us to reach more people with the podcast episodes. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much, family, for your support for the Come See podcast. I appreciate it. We are on our way to 10K subscribers. So please, share it with your brother, your sister, your mother-in-law, your sister, all of the family, and make sure everyone becomes a part of the Come See fam. So I have another amazing testimony to share with you today, and I'm just really excited to hear from this guest. She actually gave me a disclaimer that I don't have a ministry, and I was like, girl, you are the ministry. Like, you carry the Holy Spirit. He's working through you, you know? Forget about the titles. So my guest today has an extraordinary testimony of transformation from a life marked by pain and deep brokenness to the light of God's redeeming love. She previously identified as a witch, practicing magic and New Age rituals. She was also trafficked to London as a sex worker. The final straw was a toxic and abusive relationship, which led her to cry out to God in desperation. Welcome to the Come See podcast, Salome Fialho Rodrigues.
Thank you.
Did I do good?
Yeah, you did.
She coached me in how to pronounce her name. Where's that from?
I'm Portuguese.
You're Portuguese. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Brilliant. I'm very proud of myself for pronouncing that correctly.
It's beautiful to hear my name. It's just
I'm probably hyping. Salome's probably it's not perfect, but it's all right. It'll do.
It's good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm always excited whenever people reach out, because I always feel like it's not just me looking at, how do they qualify, but when somebody feels prompted, feels led by the Spirit of God to be like, no, I think I should share my testimony, that always makes me so excited. So let's start with, I know you've had a crazy journey, but let's start with your childhood and your upbringing. Did you grow up in Portugal?
Yes. So I grew up in Portugal up to the age of 10.
Okay.
And I guess in the 90s, it's completely different upbringing, maybe even abroad. I don't know how it was here, but
the culture.
It was more like, you play outside late. That's what I remember a lot. Playing with my brother and my friends out until 9 p.m, 10 p.m. And then my grandma calling us in.
Okay.
That's just the lifestyle that it was then. And I guess I'm a big part of that is that my grandma and my granddad did raise me. That's what I remember mostly.
Where were your parents?
So my parents had travelled abroad. I think my dad was in America, and then they chose England. And then at 10, that's when we came, as in the kids.
Okay, interesting. So you mentioned brother.
Yes,
Older or younger?
he's older.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're the
I'm the middle
child.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You know, and we're a bit crazy.
They're interesting. They're complex.
Yes. I was definitely like troublesome.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely remember getting in fights in Portugal and getting my brother in trouble.
Oh dear.
I don't know why, but that's what I remember. Yeah.
So do you think some of that maybe was mum and dad not being around?
Probably, yeah. I think it was just me navigating, not knowing how to handle probably myself and my emotions. But I really, I really loved, you know, being with my grandparents. And it was a huge change when I came to England. It felt almost like I don't belong in Portugal, I don't belong here. It's like you have that split personality at quite young age, you know.
Do you remember the day that you came? Do you remember? What do you remember about that day?
I really don't remember. I just remember, you know, my parents chose Oxford,
Okay.
which was
Affluent,
yeah,
nice.
it was very nice. And yeah, it was just very different. Obviously, the weather, but just the lifestyle in general. It was
Yeah.
a lot to get. And I didn't speak any English for like a
What
year.
do you think was the biggest culture shock for you when you arrived?
Food.
The food. So, school me. What's Portuguese, like staple Portuguese food?
I would say probably a lot of fish dishes.
Okay. Is paella? Is paella?
That's more Spanish.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's all right. But yeah, I guess when you think of Mediterranean food,
Okay.
like you know, grilled fish
Okay.
and salads and potatoes.
Okay.
Eggs, a lot of that.
And then you got here and it was potato and
It was more like beans on toast
sausages
at
and-
school, like that kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like,
What?
but I love it now. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also felt that even the way people carry themselves was very different.
Explain that to me.
Like in Portugal, people are very passionate, I guess, or it comes across passionate or maybe rude or direct. But here, no, it was like
Yes,
prim
we
and
have
proper.
this, they call it the stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
Which is where it's like this British attitude of like, we're very formal and very put together. I mean, we're not.
Yeah.
But that's the world's impression
Yeah.
of the British kind of stiff upper lip kind of attitude, if you like. But yes, other cultures like Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. And the Nigerian culture is just as equally elaborate and expressive.
Yeah.
Whenever I am having a discussion, if my mum, me and my sister are having a discussion, my sons literally think we're fighting. And we're not. We're literally just like discussing something passionately. And my son will be like, "It's okay, everything's," and I'm like, "No, darling, we're just passionate about what we're
just talking."
Is that like how Portuguese
I guess
people
it would be like that kind of. It comes across chaotic, but I quite enjoyed it being around that. I mean, that's all I knew.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you come here at the age of 10?
10, yes.
School?
To school, yes.
Not speaking English?
No, I learned. My school was very small.
Okay.
And I just learned like through friends, you know, and then it eventually got me a supply teacher to help me with English.
Good.
But by then I spoke English.
It was too late.
Yeah, but I feel like I learned the real English because it was like people around me, so it was fine.
Yeah. So what was the kind of going up to your teenage years? What was it like here?
So I guess the huge thing is that I now lived with my parents.
Yeah.
It was a real, like, I desired that as a child, obviously, but it was weird. And I don't think I quite understood how much there was, like, I guess, an emotional separation and that had probably created myself or that I probably felt. So I guess it was in a way like to connect, that connection. Obviously, I knew that they love me because they sacrificed so much, and I don't want to take that from them. But I think one thing, probably, you know, a lot of Portuguese households, or maybe any household, is there could be that emotional neglect, even though it might not be in their perspective. Yeah.
Can you give me an example? Like what what do you recall about that made you feel like,
I think it was probably even though we were protected in a way, there wasn't much guidance. And there was, I guess, a lack of assurance of love.
mm.
And yeah, I guess it was mainly that.
So
Yeah,
not communicating
yeah,
like
I
how much they loved you, showing
yeah,
it through sacrificing,
mm,
working hard, I'm
yeah,
guessing, but not articulating like you needed to hear it.
yes. I guess what I was needing was more the affirmation of
Okay.
a dad or a mum. And I'm sure they did it in their own ways, but it's not like I can remember, which obviously I don't want to
Yeah.
this, but we've had conversations. Well, I've tried to attempt have these kind of open conversations
Mm.
about our upbringing, and it's always been met with, mm, like, how do I say the word? Um, I guess I don't know the word.
Maybe like some defensive, like maybe a
Not
bit
defensive,
like,
like ignoring it in a
oh,
way, like
okay, okay.
I don't know,
Like overlooking it, like,
deflating it. So I don't
yeah,
know what.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah,
So like kind of pushing it aside, like,
yeah. So I guess when the time comes, I would love to go back to that conversation.
are they still here in the
Yeah, they
UK?
still live in
Wow.
Oxford.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess I'm missing a lot of parts out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, from a young age in Portugal, I very much was open spiritually in the sense
Okay.
that I could see what you'd qualify as a ghost, or
Oh,
I would like to call them souls walking around.
hmm?
Yes,
Okay.
from a
Now I
very
need.
young
So
age.
we're gonna go back to Portugal for a
Yes,
second.
yeah.
W- when what's your earliest memory of that happening?
Um, from very young, like 5, 6.
And what would you see? Describe it to me. Like, what was the
Yeah.
context when you
So
were like,
I saw
oh,
many things. There was different levels to this.
break it down. I'm seat. We are
Yeah.
sat.
Yes. I guess yeah. So what I saw was souls, so walking souls. I saw creatures that shouldn't, that should no one should be able to see. And I guess the language that we would put it now as a Christian, they are demons.
Wow.
Um,
At such
and
a young age.
yes,
What do you think? Why do you think you could see that?
I honestly don't. I mean, I was told you have this gift. I didn't see it as a gift. In fact, what I saw was far from a gift, far from goodness. And I think that's what around me, because Portugal is such a Catholic country
Okay.
and such, I guess, very ritual on. They know who God is and Jesus, but there's a lot of hypocrisy. And that's, I guess, in my own household as well, with my grandparents and my parents,
Mm.
where they have kind of combined Catholicism and spiritualism.
Okay.
So I guess that made me angry. If I saw what I saw at such a young age, I was angry at there could be a God that would allow such things. So I guess
Wow.
I already created my own view on God
Mm.
because of the things I saw. And I do believe, I feel like when I came to Christ, it was revealed to me that um, it was generational.
Okay.
Um, whatever my grandma or her mum and my mum, created and, and I'm
Dabbled in. Yeah.
dabbled in, and it definitely kind of passed on. And I was
Mm.
very open, I guess children are, but I guess I
Yeah.
was slightly more. And
Vulnerable.
yeah,
to it.
I guess, yeah. And demons feed off vulnerability, pain, anger, and so on.
Yeah.
So,
So did you tell like your grandma like I can see stuff?
yeah,
Like,
I remember telling her, oh, there's a lady in the house. And I hated sleeping there. Um, and then there was that lady, it was very harmless. So I could tell at that young age already the power of darkness.
wow.
And in some way I was intrigued. I was like, this is weird. It's obviously it was very scary and it did torment me at times, but I was intrigued.
Yeah.
It felt like yeah, so I did tell my grandma, and she was like, yeah, she probably died here. I can't even remember what her response was. But
No fear, no like,
no, no,
oh.
no. So I was like, yeah, I see her. She's sewing. My grandma has this old sewing machine in the house.
Mm.
She probably still has it. And this lady would be sewing like at 1 a.m. and I would be like, very loud. I mean, I could
Wow.
hear it. um, and so I guess I could see that, and then I could see I don't like to use this language, but people's auras in a way, like who's kind of protected, who's not,
Mm.
who walked with things behind them. And people
Okay.
have no ideas. It was pretty, I felt quite powerful.
Yeah, I can
That's what, that's
imagine.
what, that's what, you know, I guess that's what I maybe really truly wanted, power, because everything felt
Out of your
out of
control.
control. Yeah, so I saw that I always kept it to myself as much as I could because I felt when I did express it wasn't taken seriously.
Yeah.
So I just kind of endured. I guess I hated the torture, and because it was kind of like a lot of torturing. Those were definitely demon torturing, not souls.
Mm.
But and I found myself quite quickly learning that if I can interact with them and I can have this power, then I'm gonna use it to my
Okay.
advantage.
At a young age.
So yeah, I think by the age of 9, 10, I remember astral projecting, and that is when you leave your body and you roam around. I
Mm.
guess without guidance, a lot of crazy stuff can happen because I was just experiencing.
Where were you going?
I don't. So I remember. So silly. I remember leaving my body and seeing then my body down, and that scared me so much. And then I saw souls. So what happens is when you leave your body, you become an open portal. So that attracted, because I did that, it attracted way more than, the more you project, the more you do, the more
Mm.
powerful you get, in that perspective, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So you attracted souls to your body?
uh, they were trying to get into my body, but
Okay.
then I realized, okay, because you felt the force. So then I just like, please wake up.
You
So
went back.
I went back, and I didn't really have control because I didn't know what I was doing. Obviously, I didn't have quite control of that until I guess when I was 13, 14. That's
So,
when I took a bit more control.
as believers, knowing our God given identity is crucial to the quality of life we live. But sometimes life can get so busy that we start to lose clarity on who we are, our God given purpose, and drift from God. And that's why I need to tell you about Daughters of Destiny's annual women's conference and retreat, taking place in Loughborough from the 22nd to the 24th of August. Stop, reset, and be renewed in His presence. Encounter God through powerful teaching, prayer, practical workshops, and worship, with this year's theme, Created for His Pleasure. Accommodation is available, as well as day tickets for the conference. Access hotel facilities like the sauna and the pool, and children are welcome, and under 5s go free. Plus, you can get an exclusive discount when you use our special code COMESEE10. Find out more at dodintl.org.uk. That's dodintl.org.uk. So you come to Oxford now,
Yes.
England.
Yes.
Your parents working hard and,
Yes.
trying to give you guys a good life. So in terms of your teenage years,
Mm.
how did you start to kind of develop kind of autonomy around practicing it, like going deeper into it?
I feel like back in those days, you had to go to the library to use the computer. I do remember
Yes.
having a computer at home, but I remember going a lot to get books, and
Mhm.
I think I was probably looking online. Um, I was, I guess, using earth, I guess, nature
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
practice
Okay.
magic, which you can develop, over and over. And then I realized that blood is more powerful. And I guess that's when I
Wow.
truly, I dabbled a lot with wanting, I guess what I really seeked was love
Mm.
and power, and doing magic kind of fed that void.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, I made it, I was very aware that blood was the thing that made me more powerful over those demons or over the souls.
How did you, when did that revelation come? Was it through the studying, or did you do
Yeah,
something that made you think, whoa, okay,
no, through the studying
okay.
and
So they teach you that blood is more powerful, even in
yeah,
on the dark side, they
yeah,
teach that as well.
yes, it's very much um it's like it's always a level up. And I guess the freedom we have in Christ, there is no levels, there's just Christ, and we
Yeah.
are so freely to go to him.
Mm.
Yeah, so I guess once I realized blood was more powerful, I did test it out. And yeah, I guess it was good in that moment, and I did get what I want in a way.
Can you be deep? Can you delve into what did, without, I know you don't
Yeah,
probably
I
want
really
to
don't want to
influence
glory.
anyone to do
Yeah.
the same, but
I guess you could say,
what was the motivation to doing it, trying to get
yeah.
something more powerful, and what was the outcome? Without, you don't have to share
Yeah,
exactly what
I
you
guess
did.
I'll keep it simple. My purpose was freedom.
Okay.
Freedom of being in control of my life, and I had a very clear plan that I was going to leave home quite early because I
Okay.
just felt I'm better off on my own if no one is going to be there for me.
Okay.
And once again, that is a child's perspective and
Yeah.
a very troubled teen in a way, I guess, more needing guidance and love instead of, you know, what the world offers, especially when demons are in control.
Mm.
Me thinking I was in control of them, in fact, they were very much in control. They were loving life. They were
Mm.
loving the
Through
fact,
you.
yeah. And those, you know, destroying my life in a way. Um, sorry, ask me again what
Yeah.
I need.
So you said that you realized that blood was more powerful, and then
Mm,
you actually did something to
yes.
kind of, to the fact of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was wanting freedom. And so I guess blood led me to, I guess, more money, more opportunities.
Okay. So you would do some kind of rituals
Yes.
with blood. Who's
Yes.
animal blood?
No, my blood, which I was going crazy, yeah. I think it's so dangerous, you know, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Were your parents aware how deep you were getting?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay. So
And
you
I
would.
I guess there was like waves.
Mhm.
Um because the more I practiced, the more they came, as in more I could see more souls. I could travel further. That means the demons would, the more I traveled out of my body, because now I'm more powerful because I'm using blood, they would, more of them come. So you just attract more and more and more,
Mm.
because I'm a walking portal.
So where are you going now that you're astro projecting? Like.
It's very silly. So I mean, if I had fully, you know, known what I was doing, I guess that the purpose is to create chaos and harm. But I was just enjoying the freedom of that realm. I guess as humans being, we are designed not to be in the spirit realm. We're not designed for that. And I guess, yeah, it's like, I guess, an escapism. It's almost like a high. That's
So
my,
you're supposed to be having an earthly experience. Obviously, we're spirit beings,
yeah.
but we're having, God has placed us on earth, but then you're like
Mm,
going off into the spiritual realm,
yeah.
like.
I remember the furthest I went was like outside of my house into like other, like just the streets, and just feeling very free.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but was I really
Mm.
free? No,
Exactly,
because when
because
I would feel drawn back to my body, it was just nightmares.
So what would happen? How would the demons treat you when you did come back to yourself, come back into your body?
I guess you're usually torture. So I guess mind, you know, your mind kind of goes a bit cuckoo. I don't know how to say it, like, not in a weird way, but I guess your thoughts are very dark, and it can
Mm.
take you anywhere really. And
Mm.
if it wasn't that, it was more like I remember just my covers when I was going to bed, and if I was just about to rest, they would just fly off. Um, and my leg pulling. I remember being pulled, and I was just thinking. At one point, I was just like, let me just go with the pull because I can't be bothered anymore. I can't be
Mm.
bothered anymore. So when those attacks were really bad, I would just stop doing rituals because it wasn't worth it
Yeah.
yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, did you finally get your ticket out of home? Did you
In a
finally
way,
leave?
yes. In a way, I did leave very early on. I think I was 17. I was in college.
Mm.
I was working 2 jobs, and then I had like a third like recruitment job where you just around nightclubs and all that stuff.
Mm.
And I met a lot of people.
Okay.
And I guess that crowd of people is I guess opened my mind to more money. I guess because I just wanted freedom and power. I was chasing, I guess that.
Yeah. And money is,
Yeah. So through the crowd I met, they said to me, there's this big job. I was already doing like fraud stuff. I know.
Okay.
I've already paid for my crime.
It's fine. It's fine.
I was already doing quite a lot of stuff
Okay, so you got into
illegal.
fraud, you got into a lot of illegal
Yeah, but
activity.
I was like pretty, I guess when you looked at me, I was pretty normal on the outside. I was just your regular girl.
Mm.
Um, and
But then what amuses me is you're not dabbling, you're
yeah, I
into
am in it.
witchcraft
Yeah,
full force, but you're still having to do things.
I
Like it's
know.
not coming like at the click of a finger, is it?
Yeah, that was exactly what I learned very quickly. It was so good, that high moment that would come. I would get what I want, but there was always a cost. And if it wasn't a cost, there was always a problem. So
Consequence, yeah.
it's always like it either hit my health or relationships around me. To be
Mm.
honest, I didn't have many friends. I only had one friend in Oxford, and then she moved to London. So I was very much keeping to myself. I couldn't be bothered with people.
Mm.
And
So when you'd make the money, what would you do with it?
well, I was trying to live because I lived on my own.
Yeah,
So I had
so
like my own
surviving.
room. I was just trying to survive out here. Obviously, I enjoyed like as a 17, 18-year-old does.
Freedom.
Freedom, but yeah, I guess I was just trying to live
Yeah.
because my plan was always to also come to London.
Okay.
So I was trying to save up.
Okay. So you got into the kind of clubbing scene, I think you said, and they said that there was a big job.
Yeah, there was through that crowd I was doing some illegal work.
Okay.
There was a big job in London, and it was like back then 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Even
is.
now,
I was like,
£5,000
oh
is like,
yeah,
ooh.
that's the job for me. And they did say like roughly what it would be, how much I would get first if I complete the job, and then I'd get it, all. And because I just had a lot of boundaries around myself and how much I knew how much to push when it came to those things. So I felt completely in control and safe that this job was going to be fine. And I did
Yeah.
so many rituals, obviously, to
Mm.
protect me from that.
Right.
And so I said yes. And because I had a report with this guy, I generally thought it was fine. So we traveled from Oxford to London, and we was at his place, and everything seemed fine. And then he said, "Oh, I need your passport." And
Mm?
so I was like, "Oh, okay, why?" And then he explained. So I gave it to him, and I didn't really think about it in that moment because I was just thinking about the
The
money.
money.
So then I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And then he said, "Oh, get ready for tonight. We're gonna go out." So I just like to make a point that there was no like this guy was just a job. It was
Yeah.
not. There was no like.
Sexual
Yeah, no,
exchanges.
no, no, at all. Yeah. So then I when I was getting ready and I was, he came in and he said, "I've got a surprise for you. You can get some more money up front. Like, let's start the job early," kind of thing. And I was like, "Okay, great. I can recruit some more people when I'm out, kind
Mm.
of thing. And then two guys came in and he locked the door, and I knew straight away. I knew straight away when he did that. I knew straight away. Well, he had my passport, and yeah, the door's locked. There's only one thing that they want, and it's me. It's my body. I was the job in a way.
Mm.
And so I guess in a way I am a bit of a fighter, like I mentioned, troublesome. So I did try and fight my way, but there's so much you can fight, free men. And so I hate what it is. It was traffic in a way, because he kind of groomed me into that job, and
Yeah.
it was never clear, and it was rape.
Yeah.
Um, and I just felt like this is when I have no control, and this is why I practice what I do, because of people, like the hypocrisy in people and things like this.
Mm.
So I just thought, okay, just do what I need to do. And I kind of got in my head that if I just go along, things will be easier.
Mm.
So I was trapped in that house for a week
Wow.
with the ongoing men. Um, and and then there was slightly hope when he said he was going to move me to a different house because I was cooperating now. Um, and it would be more chilled, and this guy that's there will be looking after you, and there's other people, other girls there. So I guess my mindset then was, there's no way out of this. I felt so trapped that I believed that's who I was now, and there
Mm.
was no way around it. So I just went along with it, and he was right. This house was much, much better. Um, the I
Lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
When you say much, much better, not to the normal,
yeah.
you know.
I guess I was still being trafficked in a way, but it wasn't the extreme. I don't know how
Yeah.
to put it that in. I don't want to highlight it too much.
Okay.
But then I figured it out. This guy is obviously clearly the new person that's looking after me. That I could clearly manipulate this guy. So my witchy ways came back, and I was
Okay.
like, I'll just create an altar, create a way to manipulate, and I did. I completely worked out when he would shower, when he would eat, when he would be out. I guess my only aim was to get my files, my passport, and to escape. That took me a while. That took about 3 months, and I had no phone. Yeah,
Wow. And my question was gonna be, why didn't you feel like, okay, I can go to the authorities, or I mean, you can just get another passport. Like, why did those things not come into your mind? Why did
I
you
don't
have this
know.
mentality that, like, no, this is it now, they've got me?
I have no idea why I felt so mentally trapped. I think it was a mental block. I just
Mm.
felt completely trapped in it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I knew that as soon as I would leave, I would be able to do all those things. But for some reason, it became, I guess, my chains,
Mm.
mental chains,
Yeah.
that I truly believed that's who I was and that's all I'm worthy of. And um, so when I did escape 3 months later, um, luckily my only friend in
In
London,
London.
that's who I ran to. So I was like in a space of sofa surfing with her, trying to get back on my feet, which I really tried. And because I now had this idea that's all I am, I continued doing sex work,
Mm.
because it was quick and easy. And I guess we live in a fast pace
Yeah.
society where we want things like this. So I just thought, okay, it's quick money. She doesn't even have to know. Whenever I had time away from her. And can I just say, she's a Christian. Her mum is a Christian. They loved me.
Mm.
They really cared for me, and I did not see that then. But yeah, so I just kept doing that because I thought I'm in control, no one's selling me, and I can do it my way. If I'm going to do this, I might as well use it to my advantage once again.
Yeah.
I guess trying to regain power back, mental power. So, yeah, I guess I was doing that for a while until I met my son's dad. And because I was doing sex work, I just felt that I never wanted to be in a relationship with anyone. I didn't believe in love. I didn't not think I could also be loved.
Yeah.
So when I met him, it did come as a shock because he was very like full on. And it was nice. It was
Did he know what you did?
No.
Okay.
I remember he really pursued me hard. I do have to give him credit. But because I knew what I was doing, I just kept him quite, far. I remember that I think it was about 3 months after him trying to be with me, I finally gave in. And I was trying to hint to him, oh, what do you think of girls that do this? And he was like, oh, God, no, that will never be my woman. So when he said that, I was like, okay, do I give this guy a shot? And yeah, I did. I did. And I was like, I'll be your girlfriend finally. And I did give up sex work.
Because of
because
that.
I thought he really was showing me signs that I could trust him, that he was like showing me signs that he would want to provide and that he wanted me fully. And like he didn't mind the witchy stuff. I did kind of explain it to him as much as I could, but I don't think he fully got it. So I just kept it. I just explained at least, and I was like, oh, he really truly sees past that. So I've really got it good here. And I guess it was my first real encounter of, I guess, love in a way. It was very toxic because it was emotional toxic love. That's the only way to describe it.
Tell me why that is. Why was it emotionally toxic? You talk about him, wanting to provide for you, wanting to commit to you. Why would you say it was toxic?
So my only one friend, she was like, he's very controlling, like he didn't like the fact that I spend time with her or things like this. So those were the first signs she spotted out, the controlling things. But I perceived it as love.
Yeah.
And it was nice and safe. For once, I felt safe with a man. So I was like, I was so mad at her. I was like, no, he's not. So we stopped talking then after that, yeah. And
so you're isolated again.
Yeah, I'm isolated. And I guess it became toxic because, I guess it was toxic because he had his own plans in his mind of what he wanted from me. And I won't disclose that. It's just for, the sake of protecting my own son. But he knows I've shared it with my son.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I guess he loved me the way I like to think that it was love from his side. But, actions speak louder than words. And you don't do that when you love someone. You don't emotionally, physically hurt someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, it's quite a lot.
it
Yeah.
is a lot.
Yeah.
And you're an amazing woman. Because you're right, you're sat here and you did find the light and you did encounter God. Tell us about that journey to like realizing that, oh my goodness, there's actually an alternative. There's a whole real life of freedom.
Yeah. So I need to go back to my friend, that one friend I only had in London. So I was about to get married. He had proposed. I was fully in it. I was going to get married a week, in April. And I said to her, it was like March. I said to her, I really need you at my wedding. Like, you're my only friend.
Someone has to witness this.
And she was like, she didn't want to, but she said she was just happy that I was back in touch. And so she came over to my house and she noticed the bruises and she noticed things. So she was like, why didn't you come and sleep at mine? At my mom's, we can do what we used to do before. I was like, oh, he won't let me, so we need to kind of just say it's for the day. So I said to him I was gonna go for the day, and he said fine. And then I ended up staying the night, and it was now Sunday. He had specifically said he was gonna pick me up, but she was like, "Why don't you just wait? Why don't you come to church with me and my mum, and then he can pick you up after that?" And I was like, she knows I dabbled in witchcraft,
Yeah.
and she knows how I felt about God. That it was very much a separation thing.
Yeah.
I think even then I would also say I'm Catholic
Mm-hmm.
because that's what my mum would say, you know. Yeah, and so I went to church with her for her in a way because I wanted to spend more time with her, not for myself. I didn't want to be there. And I heard the Gospel of John 4, which is about the Samaritan woman.
Yeah. The woman by the well.
Yes. And I guess the first thing that really, I think it was the whole thing that captured me. And it was very much, in John 4:4, when Jesus, it says in the word that he needed to go through Samaria. And in different translations, it said he had to go through Samaria. And there was a real divine encounter going to happen because Jesus, normally a Jew, would go around.
Yep. Would avoid that.
Yes, because the Samaritans were already marrying foreigners. They were not practicing the way of, the Jewish way. They only were worshipping and only had the first 5 books of the Bible. So it was very much, he was already breaking the norm by intentionally. There was a reason he needed to go through Samaria. And I think that captured me straight away. Why was he already doing that? And then I hear about this woman at the well. She's already there, and she's not going when in the morning like other Jewish women.
She's avoiding. Yeah.
She's going in the noon, which is hotter. And obviously the well is a place where women gather, and where women gather, people, we talk.
Gossip.
So I'm sure she was avoiding something.
Yeah.
The stares, the voices.
The sniggers. Yeah.
But yeah, she encounters a Jewish man asking her for a cup of water. And I just loved that. I just was memorized how Jesus was just so gentle with her. He simply asked her for water and then told her about this living water. And I think that was then my next thing. I dabbled in witchcraft for so long, and I always wanted more power. I was never satisfied with the power. But yet now there's this Jesus saying he has living water. And it just sounded so good.
You'll never thirst again.
Yes. And I was like, if what he's saying is real, obviously I'm coming from a spiritual background. I wasn't thinking about actual drinking water.
Yeah.
Because obviously witchcraft. But I was like, I need that. I want that because I am tired of this temporary solution I'm doing. And then it carried on in the passage where he tells her, go and get your husband. And she says, I have no husband. And he responds with, but you have 5, you've had 5 husbands. And I was like, Jesus is crazy, He knows her,
knows her past.
Blots it out there. Like, I mean, Jesus was, to me, I was just memorized. I was like, I go out and look for so many answers using magic, but there is Jesus who just knows this woman so deeply. And I was like, okay, if they're saying Jesus is God and he knows you so deeply like this woman, this has to be real. It has to be more than just a woman at the well. So then I was like, okay, this is crazy, but it kind of captured my heart more and more.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't know the reason why she had 5 husbands. It could have been maybe they died, or she couldn't have children, or maybe she had a disability. We don't know, but we know how divorce worked then, which is they divorce you. You have no option as a woman.
Okay.
So Jesus was already breaking culture norms by
Yes.
talking to Samaritan, and then as well as a woman, and then an adulterous woman, as
Come
they would
on,
see
you know?
her.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this God is not a hypocrite. The things
Mm,
I've seen around me are all hypocritical. So I was just more fascinated by what he was saying in the passage, and um, I guess it came down to him talking about worshiping in spirit and truth. And I was very much aware of the spirit realm. And it just came across there was a peace and a satisfaction that I would have never gotten doing witchcraft
mm,
unless I received that living water that he
yeah.
was telling her about. So I did. I answered, how they do those
The altar
calls.
calls.
Yeah, I answered those. Um, and I went forward and I did the sinner's prayer, and someone was praying for me. And when I had my eyes closed, I had my first vision, I guess, prophecy. I guess what I found funny is what the enemy took as my spiritual gift, which God clearly had planned for me of prophecy. The enemy took it the other way completely, and
I
how
love that.
dark it was.
I love that you were able to recognize that
And I was
it
like,
was a God-given gift, but it
yeah,
was just corrupted by the devil.
yeah. So I received this vision straight away, and it was a mirror of me. Um, it was showing me practicing my witchcraft, the bloods, the rituals, all those nonsense that I saw, and I just felt God's anger towards that sin, and disgust, and what He truly felt about it. And then He responded with, "That is not your identity.
Mm,
You are my daughter." And then the second vision was of me in doing sex work, and he said, "You are not your own provider. You are not God. I am your God."
mm,
The third vision was about my son's dad, and it was, I had made him God in a way. I really wanted to be loved, and I completely had that. It was the wrong love,
mm,
and and God responded with, "Leave him, follow me. He is not your husband. I am your
mm.
husband."
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I went back to my seat and realizing I just met God. The real God I just read and heard about.
You just
I
encountered him.
just encountered him, and I felt satisfied, and I felt strengthened and hopeful in ways that I'd never had before. Because I tried to leave him a few times. In fact, I had rang my mum and a few other people that what was happening, and it was very much met with there wasn't a way out, so that's why I was going to marry him. And I just thought, for the sake of my son, I will just, maybe this is what love everyone's experiencing.
Mm,
Clearly not,
yeah.
from what God said and showed me. Um, so I went back to my seat, and then I had, I guess, the same moment as the woman at the well. She dropped her jars. Her jars was her shame, the husband's, and she ran with hope, knowing that she's met the Messiah, the
Mm,
one that's coming to save them all.
yeah.
And I needed to drop a lot of jars, obviously. My jars was heavy, as I saw in the mirror. And I guess what's beautiful is that he really did give me that strength, because I did not have it at all. I've tried.
Mm,
And I just said, if I drop my jars, you have to be talking to me this way all the time, because I can't go back. So I somehow, after, I think everyone had left, and I just couldn't get up, because I knew once I get up, I'm now with Jesus.
yeah.
That's all. So I eventually got up, and my friend was so happy, and her mom,
Wow.
and we went back to her house, and she says, "We need to call the police and gonna get this,
Get you free.
free." And I said to her, "I just can't. You need to do it for me. You need to, do all those things." So she did. She really helped. And
Mm,
then within like that night, I was rescued and put in like a safe home, for
wow.
like mums, and because my son was only 3 months old.
Wow.
So it happened so quickly. I had no time to breathe.
Mm,
But I knew for some reason what I was holding on to was the word of God and what had just happened in that moment where I knew God was real. I knew Jesus was completely my savior. And that like I felt immediately the demons go when I renounced, when I repented.
Wow.
And I just felt that darkness was completely, I don't know how to explain it. It just, I guess, unless you're in it, in that darkness. But it just felt a lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've completely run out of time. No, do not apologize. I'm so annoyed at myself because we could have had more time.
Yeah.
But your story is remarkable. And you're an amazing woman. I know I said that before, but you really are.
Thank you.
And you're a light.
Mm.
And I just pray that your testimony reaches far beyond your imagination, anything that you could imagine. I'm so inspired by your courage. You chose life. You chose God because we have a choice.
Yeah.
And you despite everything you'd been through, you still chose God. And I commend you for that. I know the scripture actually says that he chooses us, that we don't choose him, he chooses us, right? So it was his plan all along to rescue you, but I thank God that his plan prevailed over the plan of the enemy. We have to wrap up because of time. But tell us about, I know that you are involved in like a women's ministry. You're not, she says it, I'm not a minister.
No.
But how can people reach out to you? How can people connect with you?
I guess I'll make it really simple and like easy, but I just do Bible studies with women. Because I just love seeing women engage with the Bible and being transformed themselves because obviously of my own transformation and what the Word of God does. And I love being used by God when the Spirit says this, and I'm like, don't want to, but yeah, I love doing Bible studies with women. So I will do a John Bible study in the upcoming weeks, and I will announce it on Instagram. And
Amazing.
I guess people can just DM me if they would like to join. But we will be fully, deeply studying the book of John.
I love it.
Where you'll come and see who Jesus is.
Amen.
And I really hope it will be exciting.
Salome said, you will come and see. You see what she did there? She put because she was like to me, I want to do a Bible study around John 4.
Yeah.
And she actually has held it back so that this complements that Bible study.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate you so much for that. Thank you. You make sure we're going to put her handle in the description box. We'll put it on the screen as well. What is it? Just say it for those listening.
I think it's just my name, like Fialho Rodrigues.
Okay.
My handle on Instagram.
It will be in the description. It will be in the description box and it will appear on the screen. And for those listening, go to the description section and you'll be able to see it there. And I look forward to hearing the testimonies that come from that Bible study. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And thank you for choosing Christ and choosing life. And yeah, I might have to join you on that Bible study.
You're welcome.
I might have to join you.
I am a bit very I will just tell you how it is.
No,
if the spirit,
I will.
The Portuguese comes out.
I will
Spirit.
zip my mouth and listen.
No problem.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you for having me. It means a lot.
Not at all.
No
not at
problem.
all.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, God bless.